Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na-eja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise.
Join me on Chicks for Survivor right away. Thank you. For those of you who are already here on Chicks for Survivor, please share the video. Share to your family and friends. Share to your family and friends. Share to well-wishers. Share to everybody. Those who are not, we have a lot of viewers who have not yet been able to connect to Chicks for Survivor. So the more you share and like the video, the more we get them on over here. That is why you have to share. Keep sharing. Thank you for joining. Those of you who have been able to join, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. I say, may Chukwu Okike my guide and protect you. Onyema Chineke. Thank you so much, Onyema. Thank you. Amechi Eze. All hail Biafra. Thank you, Amechi. Thank you. Everyone who have joined, I appreciate all of you who have been able to switch over to this very direction. This is where we'll be broadcasting because of some issues, because of some challenges. We'll be broadcasting here to send out that message that people need to hear. Remember, the topic I say we are going to discuss today is about self-destruction. That is the topic we are discussing today, self-destruction. You can see it written over there, self-destruction. This has become a strong cancer. It has become a cancer that is eating us up today in the struggle. Self-destruction. Ebuka Emmanuel, thank you so much for joining, Ebuka. Please share the video. Share the video in your platform. Share the video wherever you belong. Share it in your WhatsApp group. Any place you can share the video. So many of our viewers, so many of our members are not yet here. Some of them are still going to King David Exploit Expose. I'm no longer in King David Exploit Expose. I don't broadcast there mostly. I do my videos here. From now onwards, this is where I'll be broadcasting in order to run away from some hindrances and some attack and some things that are coming over. So please, join to this very page and let us move. We are talking about self-destruction. That is what we want to discuss. You can agree with me that that has become the greatest problem we have today in the struggle for Biafra. Self-destruction. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have cried about this very issue so many times. He has spoken about it, talked about it. But today, we have seen people going back to that very issue of self-destruction. Our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who have done a great job to bring us this far, he was able to overcome this with all the attack that we are coming to him, against him from all corners, even from people whom he is fighting for. They were fighting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And today, you can see the same fate is facing those of us who are sincerely fighting for the struggle. Everybody that is sincerely following the truth and pursuing the truth and consistent, you can see a heavy attack that is coming upon them. But that attack that is coming, why it is much painful is that the attack is coming from our fellow Biafrans. The greatest attack is coming from our fellow Biafrans, those who are supposed to put hands together with us, those who are supposed to be fighting along with us. Instead of fighting along with us, they are fighting against us. Why are we destroying ourselves? Why are we destroying ourselves? Why? Why are we destroying ourselves? You will see your brother who is fighting to the nail for the freedom. You are looking for freedom. I am looking for freedom. Regardless whatever you believe. You might hate me. You might like me. Your tribe, your location. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In extension, even our brothers in Ududua land. It doesn't matter. Any indigenous tribe in Nigeria. It doesn't matter. We are all crying for freedom. We are all crying for freedom. And I must tell you, you can agree with me that there is no single human being in that country called Nigeria. No indigenous person, indigenous tribe is finding it easy. No indigenous tribe is finding it easy in that very Janjaweed country called Nigeria. In that British enclave called Nigeria, that British company, no indigenous tribe is finding it easy. We are all pursuing one thing, freedom. We are all crying and looking for one thing, freedom. And the only man who is straight and pursuing this freedom is our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was able to establish a standard that everybody will follow to be able to get the freedom. He established that standard and we continue to follow. We pursued it and followed it. Most of us cash into it. The only voice that so many of us had and begin to pursue the struggle for actualization of Biafra is the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and no one else. The voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu woke so many of us up. One of our brother in the creek made that confession. He said that there is no man, living or dead, apart from our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, who has brought the struggle of the Biafra people to the level Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have brought it. None. There has never been any man, either living or alive, apart from our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, no one else have brought the plight of the Biafran people to the standard Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have brought it. And it took him a lot. It took him a lot of sacrifice to get this far. It took Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a whole lot of sacrifice to get this far. Why is it that the people who he has left behind, those of us who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have left behind, those of us who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have trained, those of us who are supposed to continue to carry that flag that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that carry that gospel, we are living that gospel instead of focusing on fighting that common enemy, the enemy that have been identified by our spirit of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Fulani Caliphate. The enemy that have been identified, the Fulani Caliphate. Instead of fighting that enemy, we are busy fighting ourselves. Why? Why are we busy fighting ourselves? Why are we busy fighting ourselves instead of fighting the enemy who has come to kill, to destroy, and to take over our land? We have a common enemy, a pronounced enemy. It is no longer hidden, but instead we are bent on destroying ourselves. So many people are bent on destroying ourselves. We are bent on, we are much more active in fighting against ourselves, blackmailing against ourselves, instead of blackmailing the enemy. You will see some people will open a program. They will spend the whole of their time, the whole of the day, castigating their own brother. They will spend a whole day preaching and castigating their own brother in their message. It is sad. They will spend a whole day castigating and preaching against their own brother, who they are fighting the same freedom with. But when they come to issue of Janjaweed, they will not spend up to 15 minutes to talk about it. It is a shame. What do you think? What do you think you are gaining? You are destroying yourself. You are destroying yourself. Anytime you are speaking against any genuine Biafran that is genuinely fighting for the struggle, anytime you are speaking to somebody who is genuine, who the masses know that are genuine, with great followership, and you are speaking against that person, you are actually destroying yourself. You are destroying yourself. And so many people are on that path of destruction. So many people, so many Biafrans, so many members of IPOB, they are on that path of destruction. Why are you bent on destroying yourself? Instead of you pursuing the common enemy, instead of you speaking against the common enemy, instead of you standing up for your people and speaking against the common enemy, you are speaking against your own brother. Standing against your own brother. You spend the whole of your day, spend the whole of your time to preach against your own brother. But when it comes to the enemy, you spend few minutes to talk about it. Why are we focusing on things that do not matter? Why are we focusing on things that do not matter? It is high time we have to change the narrative. Focus on those, focus on the enemies. Focus on the real enemy. Focus on the real enemy. Do not spend your time and waste your time on those who have nothing to offer. Why are you spending your time destroying your own brother, even when you know that this your brother is pursuing the same thing that you are pursuing? Why can't we activate that common interest? We have a common interest. The common interest we have in Biafra land, a common interest. We are all searching for freedom. We are all marginalized. We are all being killed. Every Biafran family have lost somebody at one time or the other. Every Biafran family, starting from the Civil War up to date, have lost one person in the hand of the Janjaweed in one way or the other. Why are you not focusing on the common enemy? Why are you not focusing on the common enemy? Why are you talking against your brother? Why are you preaching against your brother? You spend your time to demonize your brother, even when you know that you are lying. Even when you know what you're saying is not true. When you are lying, simply because your brother called your attention, simply because your brother gave you a critical criticism for you to change from your evil. Instead of you changing from your evil, you begin to blackmail your brother. You begin to now take away your attention from the enemy. When the enemy commits an offense, you will now begin to translate it and say it is your brother that committed that offense. It is so bad. It is so bad. It is so bad. Why are we destroying ourselves? Why are we destroying ourselves? Any attack you are giving to a genuine fighter in this Biafra struggle, any attack you give to any genuine struggle, any person who is genuine, any attack you give to that person, you are giving attack directly to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every attack to a genuine person who is fighting for this struggle, any attack you give against is an attack against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why are you attacking people who are pursuing the genuine cause? Why? Self-destruction. It's high time we focus on the real enemy. It is high time we focus on the real enemy. If you don't have anything to offer, you don't have any idea. When people offer an idea, when people offer a solution, follow that solution. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who gives the solution. It doesn't matter who offers the idea. As long as the idea is legitimate and confirm the idea and let us follow it. Let us follow the idea. You have seen so many good ideas that have been brought, more especially by our brothers, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa have been able to give so many good suggestions, wonderful suggestions. But due to the fact that some people hate him because of one reason or the other, you hate him because of one reason or the other, why don't you grow away from your hatred? Why don't you get away from your hatred? You must not like anybody for you to be able to follow that which is right and achieve our freedom. The collective interest of the Biafran people is not about who you like or who you hate. When it comes to collective interest, we are all searching for one thing. We are looking for the restoration of Biafra. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is our eternal leader, who every one of us is standing behind him, every single one of us, including some of the enemies, they are mentioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Go to every platform. Either you see the picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or you see them calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or you see them playing his video. Everybody. What does that tell you? We are having a collective interest, fighting for one thing, that thing which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for. That is what everyone is pursuing. Why is it that we cannot be able to rally around and pursue that? Forget about our selfish interest. Why won't we forget our selfish interest? That so many people are bent on focusing on their selfish interest, exalting themselves above that which is right. Why are you bent on exalting yourself? Some people have forgotten. They have forgotten the person we are following. Some have now begun to exalt themselves above the supreme leader of IPOB. That supreme leader, people are exalting themselves. That is why you see them, when they come to their video, when they come to their platform, they will spend hours talking about irrelevant things, talking against their own brother, talking about exalting their own self, and they're exalting a group. They will exalt a group, but they will never remember to talk about that man who is making the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is preparing to go to court on the 16th. He's preparing to go to court on the 16th. What preparation are you making as a Biafran who is free? A Biafran who is outside, at least you have some level of freedom. As you are watching this video now, you have some level of freedom. There are so many Biafrans who doesn't have that opportunity to hear what you are hearing now. So many Biafrans are in captivity. So many Biafrans are enslaved. So many Biafrans are in the hospital. So many have been killed. They are in their graves today. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS, facing torture every day. He is preparing to come to court on the 16th. What are you doing to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu regain his freedom? What are you doing? What are you doing to make sure you regain your freedom? What are you doing to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you and I know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only name that the Janjaweed hear, they will be shaking. Is the only name that when Asarok hears that he's a time, he's broadcasting, they will pay attention. He's the only name that every politician in Nigeria recognizes that he's doing something. Why are you not going to fight for his freedom? When we ask you to do this, you said no. You are being asked to sit at home, engage yourself in civil disobedience. Civil disobedience that so many people have applied. Civil disobedience, we have seen civil disobedience work in so many countries. In so many countries, it has been very effective. In so many countries that fought their freedom, they apply civil disobedience, and it worked for them. Today, when we say apply that in the struggle for Biafra, apply it for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, people think it is a joke. People talk against it, even when they have seen it work. Civil disobedience itself has done wonders in the struggle for Biafra. It has done wonders in the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is because of the civil disobedience that people are discussing about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. Without the civil disobedience, nobody will be talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. Nobody. I am telling you, people will not be discussing about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today if not for civil disobedience. But because Biafrans are bent on sitting at home, against all odds, against all the attack, against all discouragement, against every odd, Biafrans are sitting at home. And I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to guide and protect every Biafran person living in Biafra land. Our Biafran brothers and sisters, mothers and children who are sitting at home, making the ultimate sacrifice at home in Biafra land. Sitting at home on Sunday and on Monday against all odds, even when the military is after them. Even when informants are giving informants against them. Even when their business is being destroyed. They are sitting at home, standing in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, making sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains relevant in Biafra land. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every one of you. Anybody watching this video from Biafra land, I say may Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect you. Please share this video. Share this video in your platform. Like the video, share the video in your platform. Share it to everybody. Civil disobedience remains the only solution. It is already working wonders. Let us continue to encourage our brothers in Biafra land. Continue to pray for them. Continue to pray for them. Continue to speak up. Stop demonizing your own brother. Self-destruction will not lead us to anywhere. Self-destruction will not lead us to anywhere. When you see your brother bring out a suggestion that you know that is working, a suggestion that you know that is working, why don't you cash in on that suggestion? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, anything you know that you will do to bring Biafra, go ahead and do it. So, why will you talk down on a suggestion that you know that is working? When your brother make a suggestion, critically look at that suggestion and you know that it is working, it is going to work. Why don't you implement it? You don't want to implement it simply because you are not the one that gave the suggestion. You don't want to implement it because of the person that... We must not love each other before we can fight our freedom. It is not about personal love. It is not about individual hatred, individual love. We are talking about our collective interest. Put that at the back of your head anytime. Anytime you are talking about the issue of Biafra, anytime you hear Biafra, think about the collective interest. The collective interests have extended even to our Oduduwa brothers. Our Oduduwa brothers and sisters, we now have a collective interest with them because they are looking for their freedom also. Our Oduduwa brothers are looking for, and they are not joking about it. They are fighting for their own freedom. They are calling for referendum, searching for self-determination, just the same way Biafrans are doing. This is where we meet. This is where every indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria, that is where they meet. This is where we meet, and we must remain there. That is the right thing to do. You must not like me. It doesn't matter. You must not like me personally. You must not like my tribe. You must not like my religion. You must not like my education. But the most important thing is that we are pursuing one thing, which is freedom. That is what you have to remember. Because we are searching for one thing, that is why you have to stand together and pursue what we are pursuing. And we have a common enemy. We have a common enemy. Every one of you know that we have a common enemy in the country called Nigeria. It is unlike before, when they were pushing their propaganda, trying to make the Biafran people the enemy. They make the Biafran people the aggressor. They say we are aggressors. They say we monopolize things. All manner of accusations they're given against Biafrans. But today, they have now known the people who want to dominate people. The people who want to dominate every other tribe in the country called Nigeria. It is no longer hidden. They are not hiding it. They are doing it openly. They are doing it openly, using their military, using their militia, using their terrorists. Every angle they are using it to suppress the indigenous people. These are where we are supposed to place our focus, not on ourselves. Not ourselves. Self-destruction is not going to lead us anywhere. It will not lead us. Stop talking against your own brother. Stop campaigning against your own brother. It doesn't matter who it is. You must not give your ears to every gossip. You must not give your ear to every gossip or respond to any gossip. Don't spend your time blackmailing your brother. Every blackmail you give to somebody who is fighting for the struggle of Biafra genuinely. Any blackmail you make against a genuine fighter, a genuine person that is fighting for this struggle, that attack is against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Any attack you are bringing against people who are genuinely fighting for the freedom of Biafra, fighting for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, any attack you bring against them is an attack against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When we ask for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we call every single Biafran to embark on civil disobedience. Massive civil disobedience that have never been seen before. Any way you can do it, any angle you can do it, engage in it. If you sincerely love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and you really want to, why don't you follow that same step? If you feel it is too hard for you, you can step aside. Step aside, but do not castigate it. Do not castigate the idea. Don't castigate the idea. Everybody have the right to implement the idea. If you have any idea of what we implement to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being freed, to make sure that Biafra comes, implement it. Don't castigate it. Implement it. If you feel it is difficult for you, you cannot implement. Allow those who can implement it to continue to implement it. That is how it's supposed to be. Why are we destroying ourselves? Self-destruction has become the greatest cancer we have today in the struggle. Self-destruction. Trying to destroy ourselves by all means possible. Even people who know that they have nothing to offer. When you know that your intelligence has been exhausted, you know that your effort has been exhausted, why don't you relax and allow your brothers who have something to offer to continue in the struggle? When you know that you are exhausted, you have utilized everything that you have in your brain, allow those who still have a lot in the stock to continue to release it and continue to pursue the struggle. Why are you talking down on them? Trying to demonize your brother, even when you know you have nothing to offer. Even when you know you have nothing to offer, you have now become an enemy. You are now playing the role of Janjaweed. Go and check. Even the Janjaweed we are fighting against, the Nigerian terrorists we are fighting against, the British enclave, the British company Nigeria we are fighting against, how many videos are they making against us? How many videos are they making against us? The people we are fighting against, how many videos are they making against us? Go and check. Every video you see that is coming against Biafra people are made by Biafran people themselves. Every video against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is made by Biafran people themselves. Have you seen it? If you have seen any, how many videos have you seen that you see Janjaweed talking against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That you see the Nigerian government attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on a daily basis? How many videos have you seen? But when you go to the videos you see are videos of members of IPOB. Members of IPOB, including the leadership, attacking their own people, their own brothers, demonizing their own brothers, instead of calling them close, instead of taking ideas from them. And you call yourself a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course you are not a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are only there to destroy what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have built. While Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was with us, I have followed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for a very, very long time, since 2014. I listened to every of his broadcasts. Up to today, I still play his broadcasts. You can see me reposting some of his broadcasts. You can see me trying to recreate some of his broadcasts and replay it. I've watched so many of his broadcasts. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have never any day rejected any question. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is somebody who gives you a listening ear. It doesn't matter how stupid your question is. It doesn't matter how foolish you sound. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will give you a listening ear. Go and check. He hosted so many programs on question and answer. He never insulted anybody. He allowed you to say what you wanted. After saying, he will put you straight. But today, the people who claim to be in power do not want to accept any form of criticism. Even criticism that is going to make them stronger. How I wish that we were listening from the beginning. How I wish that we were listening. If the people who are in the leadership were able to listen from the beginning, if they were able to listen from the beginning, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, if they were listening, what we are having today, we won't have it. The distraction you are seeing today, you won't see it. The infighting you are seeing today, you won't see it. The self-destruction you are seeing today, you will not see it. But because they refuse to listen. When people we are giving them critical criticism, do that which is right. What were we asking for? Every single person was asking them to be consistent in what they are saying and be truthful. Is it too much to ask? It is too much to ask. That is the foundation of IPOB. The foundation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is based on truthfulness and consistency. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been very truthful and very consistent in his word. Very truthful and consistent. He never deviated from what he has said. What he said yesterday, he will say today. Call him tomorrow, he's going to say the same thing. He never changed. Up to today, you can see him standing torture in the DSS because he has refused to denounce Biafra. A lot of gifts have been given to him. A lot of pledges have been made to him. What have they not offered? A lot of offers have been made to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just to drop the struggle. And they are not hiding it. You saw even the imposter in Asarab when he came out on the national broadcast. The imposter came on national TV. He said that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu behave, he will regain his freedom. What do you understand by behave? When the imposter in Asarab told you that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu behave, he will regain his freedom, what do you think he means? He means that If mazi Nnamdi Kanu dropped the struggle for Biafra, he would regain his freedom. But did mazi Nnamdi Kanu sell out? He didn't. He never gave up. He is still standing. He never gave up. That is what we call consistency. Be consistent in what you are doing. There are so many other examples of consistency. Look at our father Chiwetalago. Look at our daddy Chiwetalago. Chiwetalago, who was arrested because he was wearing a Biafran cloth. He was wearing a Biafran cloth. They arrested him. That did not deter him. It did not deter him. Today, he is still wearing another Biafran cloth, designed in a different form. He wrote it, The Rising Sun. He did not stop what he's doing, simply because they threatened him. Simply because the DSS arrested him. He didn't stop. Simply because they are telling him, you must not represent Biafra. You must not do this. If you do the people will do this, you will do that. Chiwetalago is still wearing Biafran uniform today. He changed the design and he wrote it, The Rising Sun. Where again in this planet Earth do you describe Rising Sun? The only people that the Rising Sun describe is the Biafran people. The only people that the Rising Sun describe is Biafran people. And what do you call that? That is consistency. Somebody who knows what he or she wants. Somebody who knows what he or she is pursuing. You cannot push them around. This is what the Biafran people were demanding from the leadership of IPOB. But they refused to do that. They refused. Instead, it became an issue of sacking people. It became an issue of demonizing people. Either they give you name or they sack you. That is not a way to go. That is not a way to go. That is not. If you cannot be able to handle critical criticism, that means you are not qualified to be a leader. That is what it means. If you cannot handle critical criticism, you cannot be a leader. You cannot be a leader. How I wish they listened from the day one. If they had listened from day one, what you are seeing today, you will not see it. When you see some people talking on their platform, you think they are fighting. It is not fighting against. There is no thing like fighting against the leadership. It is not fighting. People are making a great point that must have to be listened to. You must have to listen to them. It doesn't matter. You must have to listen. You don't have it all. You must have to listen. And when you check from the beginning, since mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been adopted, since mazi Nnamdi Kanu was adopted in Kenya, was kidnapped in Kenya, and sent to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition, you can see a whole lot of inconsistency. You can see a whole lot of inconsistency. With such inconsistency, how do you expect Biafran people to rally around you? How do you expect Biafran people to follow you when you are very inconsistent in your word? That is the major problem. Inconsistency. If I begin to name it for you, I can count as many as possible. You talk of lying. You went to the extent of allowing people to lie on Radio Biafra, a platform where mazi Nnamdi Kanu worship a man who is whiter and white, whiter than snow. When mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been preaching about being whiter than white, he said it every now and again, and so many of us copied it. Even up to today, some people will tell you IPOB is whiter than white and whiter than snow. Rubbish. People will come and tell you IPOB is whiter than white and white. Rubbish. The only man that is as white and whiter than snow is mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because it has been proven. Nobody have anything against him. Nobody. No law court on the planet Earth have convicted him. None. He has not been found wanted anywhere. He is the only one that is whiter than white. And because he has been around with us, he covered every one of us. mazi Nnamdi Kanu used his whiteness to cover every one of us. And the whole world we are seeing us as whiter than white. But today, the Janjaweed succeeded in removing mazi Nnamdi Kanu from the picture. They went to Kenya, kidnapped him, held him. They sent him to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition. Today, they are punishing him in the DSS. When they removed mazi Nnamdi Kanu from picture, now you can see nobody is as whiter than snow. People who are claiming to be white and whiter than snow are not even white, let alone be whiter than snow. People who are claiming to be white and whiter than snow, they're as dark as charcoal. As dark as charcoal. But up to today, go to their platform, you see them say IPOB is whiter than white, whiter than snow. Who told you that? The only man that is white and whiter than snow is mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he has been the flag, he has been the coverage, he has been the cover of IPOB. Just like when it was said that through one man, sin came into the world. It was through Adam. Only Adam, the sin of Adam, affected every other human being. And it was through Christ that we had the opportunity of salvation again. Through one man. Salvation came through one man. Through one man, salvation came according to Christianity. Through one man, salvation came according to Christianity. The same thing in the issue of IPOB. It was through one man. IPOB became whiter and white and whiter than snow. Through one man, IPOB became white as white and whiter than snow. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is the only man who is stainless. And when he said it with pride. He says it with pride. When he handled the radio Biafra, he tells that this is where we worship. And Biafra is our religion. He says it with pride, with all confidence, because he has no skeleton in his cupboard. But today, you see people still measuring themselves whiter than white, even when they are as black as charcoal. Today, the Janjaweed have succeeded in removing that white cover that we have. They have removed the white cover we have.